It's morphin' time.
Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila bringing you the Wrestling Time Post Show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing both AEW Rampage and Friday Night Smackdown. But let's get started with AEW Rampage. Okay, so AEW Rampage kicked off with an incredible tag match. It was Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, and Jamie Hayter versus Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about when you gotta give the women time. And this perfect example of giving the women time to shine. I really enjoyed this match. This was a fun little match. The crowd chanting Pittsburgh sucks, and I thought that was funny. I really like that double outer leg sweep that Toni Storm and Ruby Soho did to Dr. Britt Baker. There was another moment that I liked where Ruby Soho, she saved Toni Storm from that turnbuckle. It looked like Britt was going to throw her onto the turnbuckle when Ruby saved her. Okay, so the finish to this was incredible. Of course, Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter kicked the match off. You had Rebel distract the referee, and that allowed Jamie Hayter and Britt to take advantage of Toni Storm. So, first Jamie Hayter attacked her, then Britt hit her with the curb stomp. And then, you think the match is over. You really think it's over. But no, Ruby Soho broke up the pin by throwing Jamie Hayter onto Dr. Britt Baker. She broke up the pin. And, so I was so surprised when that happened because I thought for sure that meant that this match was over. And Ruby Soho and Toni Storm were victorious. So, very happy about that result. Like I said, fantastic match. This is what I'm talking about. This is how you give women time. And we need more of this on Dynamite, not just on Rampage. And speaking of which, we actually got 2 women's matches tonight on Rampage. And a mixture of segments and stuff. So I'm really happy about that. And not only do we need more women's matches, not only on Dynamite and Rampage, but we also need to give them ample times. I'm not saying we need 5 women's matches on one show. But, maybe we can have, a 20-minute match and a 10-minute match. Or we can have a 30-minute match or a 15-minute match for the women. They need to be given time. And this, fantastic. This is one of the results of what happens when you give the women time. I feel like everybody got equal showing. It wasn't just Jamie getting shown off. It wasn't just Ruby. It wasn't just Dr. Britt Baker. It wasn't just Toni Storm. I feel like all the women in this match got equal times to show off what they can do. So props for this match. I really, really enjoyed it. Great way to kick off AEW Rampage. So then we get a Eddie Kingston phone call. He called Chris Jericho. You guys know Chris Jericho does commentary on Rampage. So he received a phone call from Eddie Kingston, which I thought was hilarious because later on Twitter, Eddie Kingston said that he called collect 1-800-ECT. The 1-800, I remember those commercials, or the Bob Had a Baby, It's a Boy, when you would call collect. That took me back. But anywho, during the call, Kingston said that his wife was crying, saw him, and that this is no longer about pro wrestling, that he cares about his wife, and that he wants to make Jericho feel the pain and the hurt that his wife felt. So it's going to be so the match between him and Jericho is going to be in the honor of his wife. So it's personal for Kingston now. So if this match has a stipulation, I'm very curious to see what type of stipulation he picks. Then we get a quick Tony Nese segment who says he doesn't understand why he has to force himself on the show. He doesn't know the right people. Maybe it's because he doesn't know the right people. And he wants a match against the undefeated phenomenon, Danhausen. So that's going to be a very interesting match. Tony Nese against Danhausen. Who would have thought that would be Danhausen's first match on Dynamite? It was not the match I was expecting. I was expecting maybe Danhausen go on his first match to being against Orange Cassidy, even Hook. But Tony Nese? Really? I did not expect that. I really did not. It took me by surprise, I have to say the least. Speaking of Hook, though, he had a match against JD Drake. I want to say this was a squash match pretty much because JD Drake really didn't get a lot of offense in. I mean, Hook dropped him he gave Hook a couple of chest shots. Hook asked for one more. Then he headbutted DJ Drake. Then I don't know how, but Hook flipped behind DJ Drake and he hooked the Red Rum and the match was over. Hook ended up winning by submission. But the fun part was what happened after. Okay, so Danhausen came out and he starts talking about how the menacing Mike Sterling, and it's going to be on Toni Nese's ring corner. So he offers Hook to be Hookhausen. I really liked how he points out that there was people in the crowd who had custom-made Hookhausen t-shirts. I need one of those t-shirts. AEW should make a Hookhausen t-shirt. They probably might if it becomes an official team, though. But I need one of those shirts. So he says, so Hookhausen chants start. And like I said, he's basically asking Hook to be in his corner. And Hook just shoves Danhausen. And Danhausen leaves him like a little bag of potato chips with a little bow, which I thought was really cute and such a sweet gesture. And then you could tell maybe Hook kind of feels guilty, but he leaves a gift in the ring and he walks away. So I'm really hoping Hook is in Danhausen's corner. You know what I think is going to happen? I think that Danhausen is going to come out to this match against Toni Nese alone. And then afterwards, Hook is going to come out. That's what I think. I think that there's going to be a moment in the match where probably Mark Sterling is like distracting the referee or tries to get involved. And Hook is going to come out and even the odds. That's what I think. I don't think Hook is going to wait till the match is over to come out and help Danhausen. I don't think so. So, you heard it here first. That's what I think is going to happen. And then we get an FTR segment. Cash says that Dax is going to win the whole thing. Dax then says at Dynamite he's going to bring back the nasty bastard, that he needs to win this for himself, his family, and the Hart family. So it's going to be Dax versus Adam Cole, baby. It's going to be a great match. If it was Adam Cole against anybody else, I would be pulling for Adam Cole. But I'm actually pulling for Dax Harwood to not only beat Adam Cole, but win the entire tournament. So very excited about that match. It's going to be a great match. And I bet you Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are going to try to get involved, but Cash is probably going to stop them from getting involved. Then we get the second women's match of the evening is the Owen Hart Foundation women's qualifier match. Riho versus Yuka Sakazaki. Is that how you say it? I'm not entirely sure if I'm saying it correctly. So I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing. So commentary points out that Riho has different attire than her usual white and pink attire. It's black, which I don't think meant anything because she still wrestled, in my opinion, like a face. She still seemed like she was a face. I thought the one really cool spot that I liked in this match was when Yuka did a cartwheel. She did this cartwheel thing to avoid Riho, which I thought was pretty cool. So the moment that I thought the match was over was when Riho does a diamond knee strike to Yuka, but then she ends up kicking out. So I was like, what? Damn. And then Yuka hit Riho with the left and right elbow strikes. And somehow after that, Riho got the victory. She won. And then we saw the bracket for the Owen Hart Women's Qualifier Tournament. So if you guys saw on Dynamite, we saw for the men's and now we saw for the women's. All right, just like the men's, there's a Joker who's going to face Samoa Joe. Now, the women's have a Joker too, and that Joker is going to face Britt Baker. Now the question is, who is the Joker? Is it maybe Candice LeRae? I mean, Fightful Select did say that her contract has officially expired and she's free to work anywhere. But I doubt it's Candice LeRae because she just had a baby in February and it's been 3 months. I don't think she'll be ready to go in 3 months. But if she is and it's her, wow, props to her for getting ready that fast. We have to keep in mind, whoever the Joker is probably going to lose against Britt Baker. So I don't think it's Candice, mainly because, like I said, she just had a baby. Could it be Athena? Could it be Tegan Nox? Could it be... Who else could it be? Well, we gotta think of what other women are out there that could potentially debut. Could it be maybe Mia Yim? Or could it be that we're finally getting the dream match? Britt Baker, D.M.D. versus Deonna Purrazzo. Oh my God, I am going to flip out if it's Britt versus Deonna. This is a match that I've been wanting to see, that pretty much everybody has been wanting to see. But Deonna will probably lose again, because I don't think it would make sense for her to advance in the tournament. But I don't know how much I want it to be Deonna. Like, I want to see the match. I do. But I know, because it's AEW, Deonna's going to lose. I would much rather see this match outside of AEW. So I know it's a fair, so I don't know who's going to win. But that's just me being biased towards Deonna. I love Deonna Purrazzo. I do. I watch Impact on a weekly basis. So, she's my favorite female wrestler on Impact. But I really hope she doesn't lose by tapping out again. She's Deonna's submission specialist. I just don't see Britt putting her in the lockjaw and then Deonna tapping out. I don't know how that's going to sit with me. I guess as long as it's a good, maybe 15, 20-minute match, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I just want a good performance out of Deonna. Maybe it's Deonna. I don't know. I don't know. There's a part of me that wants it to be Deonna. Then there's another part of me that's like, I don't want to see Deonna lose. I don't. But who do you guys think is going to face Britt Baker? Sami Zayn, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, Deonna Purrazzo, one of those four? Or who do you guys think? Maybe Chelsea Green could face Britt Baker? I don't know. I guess we gotta wait and see. All right. So then we get a Man of the Year segment, who basically starts off with Dan Lambert talking about how he went out for crab cakes and that they were disgusting, and he would rather bring crabs from, I guess, someone from the streets, and that he is proud to say now he's from Florida or something like that. And then Ethan Page takes over, and he says that as much as he would like to get his hands on Sammy Guevara, it makes him sick to see Guevara and Conti sucking face, and that the mixed tag match is off. So then Kazarian comes out and says that he thinks it's funny that Page can't stop talking about Sammy. All he needs is an overbearing blonde like Dan Lambert. And he says that he always believed in Sky and wants him to keep his promise. So Ethan Page says he is glad Kazarian is dressed for funeral because SCU is done. And I really hope SCU reunites for the LA show. It would be awesome to see SCU, at least even if it's just for one night, reunite. All right. So Scorpio Sky said that he is going to be a fighting champion, and he will not allow the TNT title to be passed around like Ty Conti backstage. He's a man of his word, and he's going to face Frankie Kazarian next week. So that should be a good match. And I wonder, like I said, hopefully you get a reunion for SCU. And then in the main event, it's Jay Lethal versus Konosuke Takeshita. I think I pronounced that correctly, and if I did not, I apologize. So I was very impressed with Konosuke Takeshita. It's the first time I see him wrestle. I don't watch Dark or Elevation, so I haven't seen him wrestle before. But my favorite spot in this match is when, so first Jay Lethal does the Ric Flair strut, and then Takeshita does the Ric Flair strut too, which I thought was hilarious. Oh my god. Alright, so there is also this one moment in the match where there's a moment when Takeshita has a stare down with Satnam Singh, and allows Jay Lethal to take advantage and dive into the barricade. At one point, Takeshita does a jumping knee to Jay Lethal, and Sanjay distracts the referee, which causes a delay in the pin. So, like, while Sanjay's distracting the referee, like, you have Takeshita pinning Jay Lethal, and the match would have been over. But thanks to Sanjay, it wasn't, because by the time the ref starts counting, Jay Lethal kicks out. And then after the match, so Jay Lethal's victorious. So right after the match, best friends come out, and they immediately go after Sanjay, and Lethal bounces Chuck Taylor. He's bouncing him, and there's a quick kind of a stare down between him and Orange Cassidy. And then Samoa Joe comes out. Oh, damn security for like holding Joe back. Like, Wardlow can run through security. Why can't Joe run through security? But basically, Rampage ends with Joe getting blocked by security. And I personally really didn't like that ending, because it was kind of like, you should have just let them go, I guess. But I guess they're waiting to let them go, so to speak. And I don't mean let them go as in like release. I mean like let them go as in like let them fight and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to see that brawl, man. Seriously. I don't know about you guys, but I really wanted to see that brawl. But so with that being said, I'd have to give tonight's Rampage an 8 out of 10. What stopped it from being a Ty Dillinger perfect 10 was the fact that we didn't see that brawl. I really wanted to see that brawl. So, damn. Maybe next time. But what did you guys think of tonight's Rampage? Let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, so with that being said, that concludes the review for AEW Rampage. Now let's move on to everybody's favorite show, Friday Night Smackdown. Alright. So Smackdown kicked off. Well, it was supposed to kick off with Charlotte Flair versus Aliyah. Instead, we got a Charlotte Flair promo. Mind you, Aliyah's already in the ring. She was basically saying people paid their hard-earned money to come see her. And she doesn't know why the LI, Long Island, is called the armpit of New York. And she says that she can sympathize with people in the LI. And she starts talking about how Aliyah clearly tapped out and quit before the time was up. And she doesn't know what Drew Gulak's problem is with her. If you guys recall, Drew Gulak seems to be kind of feuding with Charlotte on the side. Like, first was the whole interview. She attacked him. Next, she attacked him after the contract signing. So it seems like there's something going on there. So she said that Ronda's gonna cry just like her baby, and wouldn't be surprised if Ronda left her altogether after she says I quit, and ask Aliyah if she's enjoying her 15 seconds of fame. She's going to pretend that Aliyah is Ronda right now, and so then she's asking Aliyah to move forward. I don't know why Aliyah moves forward, and then Charlotte cheap shots her, and then Ronda Rousey comes out, and there's a brawl between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte. So normally I wouldn't have a problem with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte having a brawl. But here's the thing. You're supposed to have a match. It's supposed to be Charlotte Flair versus Aliyah. Yet nothing happens. I mean, that match pretty much ends. And, actually, we didn't even get a finish to that match. It kind of just stopped because of the brawl. Like, WWE officials came out and separated Charlotte and Ronda. Charlotte took out an official with the boot to the face, which I thought was pretty cool. At one point, they break free and go at it again. And the officials separate them once again. So, again, my issue was not the brawl. My issue is the fact that instead of having a match between Charlotte Flair and Aliyah, you could have simply had Charlotte Flair go out to the ring, cut a promo, and then have Ronda Rousey come out. Completely pointless to have a match and then have that match lead into the brawl. Seriously. So next we have Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler. Wasn't a bad match. I just didn't care for it. Honestly, like the feud between Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Shayna Baszler and Natty, it's like, who cares? Honestly, and it's not their fault. It's WWE that's made me not care. But, Shayna Baszler wins this because she put her feet on the rope and Natty helped her keep her feet on the rope. big deal. Like, what's more is there to this match? At least it wasn't a squash match, I guess. And then we had like multiple promos. Like, these pacing is like really weird because after that match, we had a promo with the Usos who basically said that the time is done. The time for talking is done. The Riddle puts his own foot in his mouth, and Jimmy says that they have an antidote for that poison. They're gonna wear snake-skinned Jordans, which probably will be actually pretty cool to wear snakeskin Jordans. So after that, we're supposed to get a happy talk segment, but again, all you see is Baron Corbin come out to the ring. But then instead of the segment that follows, instead of having his segment start, you get a segment with RKBro backstage. Well, mind you, Baron Corbin is already in the ring. So RKBro basically says that Riddle's a little confused about what he means by the Usos saying that he sticks his foot in his mouth. He thought that he actually meaning putting your foot in your mouth. But Randy says that they don't need to worry about being in the ring with. They don't need to worry about that. The Usos need to worry about being in the ring with the most dangerous letters in wrestling, RK-Bro. If you're counting bro as a letter, it's 3. But if you're not, then we got more letters. So then, that's when we get the happy talk segment. And he said, Baron Corbin basically says that he's already happy because he's thinking about all the things he will do to Moss. And then Madcap Moss interrupts him on the Titantron, says that people want to hear him tell jokes, and no, I don't. He's not funny. Although I will say this next line I thought was pretty funny. He says that Baron Corbin looks like Pitbull. If you guys don't know who Pitbull is a music artist, a Latin music artist, Mr. 305. So yeah, I can see that. Baron Corbin did look like Pitbull with that attire that he had on. But that was the only thing I found funny. Other than that, he talks about the horrible tattoos and how Baron Corbin's doing charity. I didn't think that was funny. I did like that Madcap Moss mentioned the many faces of Corbin, like the Lone Wolf, King Corbin, Constable Corbin, Happy Corbin, Broke Bum Corbin. And it says that he could go back to being the Lone Wolf, but for that he needs hair, so he could be the big bald wolf. I guess a play on the big bad wolf. So I kind of like the segment, but it just, I don't know. I liked some parts of the segment. Madcap Moss is not a terrible wrestler. It's just that gimmick does not do him any favors. Then we had Drew Gulak, and it was supposed to be him versus a mystery opponent. It ended up being none other than Gunter. So ultimately, this match is a squash match. The crowd starts chanting USA, but it doesn't really help Drew Gulak in any way, shape, or form. I mean, Gunter hits Gulak with a chest chop, then a big boot, then another chop, which I actually thought was a pretty cool combo. He puts Drew Gulak in a sleeper hold and then hits him with the power bomb, and Gunter wins. Not a surprise there, but dang, Drew Gulak didn't get any offense in, and not only that, he got beat up by Shirley. He got beat up by Ronda. It's like, what is it? What are they doing to poor Drew Gulak? Like, seriously, like, what are they doing with him? Like, are they like, is this his gimmick that he's gonna try new things? Like, I don't know what's going on with this. Like, I know he was auditioning to be one thing. Now he's a wrestler. Like, is this going to be a gimmick type of thing? I'm not entirely sure where this is going to go, but I guess it gives Drew Gulak something to do better than sitting backstage and catering. So then after that, we get a segment with Shinsuke Nakamura, who finally follow up from that segment where Roman Reigns hugged Nakamura in the middle of the ring. He says that at some point he's going to get a piece of Roman Reigns. That's the gist of this segment. But the thing I liked about it wasn't because of Nakamura. It was because Sami Zayn kind of just popped from the back out of nowhere. Like, you see him sneak peeping at Nakamura, which I thought was so hilarious, and it makes it seem like a snitch. So I thought it was really funny, and especially because it ties into another segment that follows. after the tables match. So we get a tables match. It's Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. So this surprisingly was not a bad match. I was a lot better than I expected to be. There's this one part where Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston use a table as a weapon and they hit Sheamus in the midsection twice. There is a part where Ridge Holland goes crashing into the steel steps after he tried to go after Woods. And then Sheamus went through a barricade thanks to Kofi Kingston, which I thought was actually a pretty cool spot. So you guys know how Sheamus likes to do the chest thing and he does it 10 times. I really like that Kofi Kingston tried to do that to Sheamus. Well, to add insult to injury, I guess, or to speak, using Sheamus' own maneuver on him. So while Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were going to put Sheamus through the announce table, Butch pops up from under the ring, and then it gives the advantage to Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and Ridge Holland and Sheamus put Xavier Woods through the table, allowing them to pick up the win. All right, so then after this match, we get a segment between Paul Heyman and Kyla Braxton. Paul Heyman accusing Kyla Braxton of being flirty with him, so he starts to joke, saying he's going to take her out on a date, which I thought was pretty hilarious. And then Sami Zayn shows up. If you guys recall, last time Sami Zayn went to go snitch to the Bloodline about what RKBro and McIntyre had said about Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. So I thought it was pretty hilarious how Heyman tells Kyla not to leave him alone with Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn says that he told Heyman that Nakamura said that he was going to go after Roman Reigns, and that Sami Zayn wants to handle this personally on behalf of the Bloodline because he's locker room leader. You know what, as they say, snitches get stitches. So Sami Zayn's kind of being a snitch right now. And so I thought this was a hilarious segment. Sami Zayn's doing a really good job at being in a comedic role. He's really good at that. And so like I said, this should have just been, in my opinion, maybe it should have just been one whole segment. You see Sami Zayn in the back and then it cuts to him or showing up to Paul Heyman. It's kind of I don't know. I don't get WWE's weird pacing of the show sometimes. It's bad enough I don't get their logical booking at times, but now to try to make heads or tails of their pacing, I think I'll get a headache off from that. So then after that, we get a Lacey Evans segment. She's basically continues talking about her life story. She says she's going to be a future SmackDown Women's Champion. And she finally shows up on the crowd. She wanted to be addressed properly and to give her a round of applause. The crowd's totally behind her. And how can they not be behind her? After all those segments that she did where she was talking about her life, if WWE wanted to get Lacey Evans over as a babyface, they did a good job at having Lacey Evans talk about her life story in these various promos, and they got her over as a babyface because she got a really good reception. So I really actually like that. Props to WWE for doing something right. Once out of 10 times they do something right. All right, so after that, Sami Zayn, you get a segment with Sami Zayn again. So he's on 3 segments tonight. He chose Adam Pearce and he wants a match next week against Nakamura. But Adam Pearce tells him, no, just do it. We'll just do the match tonight. And Sami, of course, is not like that because it doesn't give him enough time to prepare. So this leads into Sami Zayn versus Nakamura, which actually was not a bad match. Sami Zayn dominated Nakamura. Nakamura did get some offense in. He gave Sami Zayn a kick to the midsection. I really like that Nakamura put Sami Zayn in the armbar, but then he escaped by turning it into a pin. I thought for sure Sami Zayn was going to tap out. It looked like he was going to. But that would just add to the conspiracy and more to his character. Sami Zayn tried to run away, but of course Nakamura stopped him. Sami Zayn, while they were in the outside, they were wrestling by the announce table, gave him a huluva kick, and then he rushed back to the ring. He beat the count at 10, which means Sami Zayn won by count out. So props to Sami Zayn for doing that. I thought he was going to run away, which would lead to a rematch next week, but he didn't. So I'm really happy I'm really happy Sami Zayn didn't run away in this match. So that was actually not a bad match. Like I said, enjoyed it. Then we get a face-to-face RK-Bro and Drew McIntyre with the Bloodline. So I really like that Drew McIntyre is like trying to copy Roman by saying, "Acknowledge me." Matt Riddle cuts him off and says that he acknowledges Randy Orton as his best friend. Orton says that he still has McIntyre's handprint on his chest from when he beat him for the title. And then, they go back and forth with all these little acknowledged things. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Riddle saying that Orton has the most muscular legs. Like, he acknowledges that. And then the Bloodline comes out. Roman Reigns does a Superman punch to Drew McIntyre. The Usos hold him down as Roman Reigns attacks him. Then there's an RKO to the Usos and a Claymore kick to Reigns, and that's how SmackDown ends. So typical way that they end SmackDown. I didn't think it was that bad. There were things that I liked, things I didn't like. I really liked the Sami Zayn stuff. I kind of liked the Madcap and the Happy Talks thing. Kind of, not entirely. And that table match was good. Lacey Evans segment was good too. So, that being said, I'd have to give tonight's SmackDown. I'll give tonight's SmackDown a 6 out of 10. Reason again is 6 out of 10 is because I felt the pacing was kind of off. And I liked a few things. I didn't like the entire show. And for the show of the night, I definitely picked Rampage over SmackDown. I think Rampage was a lot stronger than SmackDown. But we also have to remember, this is a go-home show to WrestleMania Backlash. The purpose, and I said this on Raw, the purpose of a go-home show is to get you excited for the pay-per-view. This did not get me excited for the pay-per-view at all. I don't know what go-home show was worse, Raw or SmackDown's. But this really, I could care less. Aside from a few matches, like aside from the Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, like maybe Shirley and Ronda, there's really not much I'm looking forward to at WrestleMania Backlash. So that's why I gave it a 6 out of 10. With that being said, that concludes this review. If you guys haven't been watching my last 2 videos, I am a little under the weather. I don't know if you guys can tell by the sound of my voice or just by the fact that my energy seems kind of down. So that's why I haven't been live streaming. I hope to live stream this weekend. If not, then for sure Monday I'm going to go live after Raw. But it's a big wrestling weekend. We got tomorrow for you Impact people, Under Siege, and then on Sunday is WrestleMania Backlash. So we'll see how that plays out, whether I live stream for either show or both shows, or if I can't. Like I said, I'll definitely will go live on Monday though. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Under Siege. Bye.